guys. Okay, so I'm going to make this really simple about the other channel thing because I have simplified it. Now I can simplify it for you. I'm only going to use Rumble. Okay. And all you need to do right now, and that's all you'll ever have to do, is go over to rumble.com, put a / after that, put Awakening with Amy after that. So rumble.com / awakening with Amy, and my channel will come up, and all you do is hit subscribe. Okay. So when you subscribe, you're going to get an email every time I put a video on that channel. Isn't that awesome? So I'm going to continue to do my Divine Masculine monthly reports, of course. And I'm going to continue to do my weekly Q&As, answering your guys' questions, your personal questions and whatnot. So all the normal stuff that I used to do is going to be here on this platform, where all the things that talk about this world and where it's going and what's happened in the past, even, or just like filling into all these different subject matters in regards to our world will be over on the other platform, because this one does not allow you to speak the truth. So that's how that's going to work for now, until things change and until we move over to a better platform, all of us. That's how it's going to work. Okay, so I don't actually know how I'm going to do this Divine Masculine. Oh, okay, they just told me. Okay, so we're going to do different categories, different collective love readings on different categories, right? Okay. So there's those in separation, and then there's actually those who are together or coming together. So we're going to do a separate read on that. Nala, I can't come cuddle right now. You know, they do things just like kids, you know, when they want to do things. And it just may happen to be in the middle of a video. Nala just so happens to want to cuddle right now. Yeah. Can you guys hear her? She has the tiniest little meow. You can barely hear it. You're so cute. Okay, so those are the okay. Oh yeah, okay. So those are that are together, or those that are in separation, meaning you guys aren't talking to each other. Those where that person has a third party, and then those that are coming together. That's the spreads we're gonna do. Okay. All right. Oh. Okay, so I'm gonna have to. I'm trying to think. I have to go grab my my little bowl of True Love Winks. Actually, I think we'll do it by I think we'll do a little messages from spirit at the end, and just use what comes to spirit, you know, what comes to mind. So, or maybe even throughout these. Okay. So those of you who are in separation and you guys are not talking, we're going to take care of you first, because that's you know, probably the most painful one to go through. Well, I can't really say that because the karmic makes it even more painful, but all right, maybe we should. No, I keep feeling like I need to do those of you who just are in separation in general. They may or may not, your person may or may not be with someone else. Maybe you're not sure. Or, you know, they're just not talking to you. Maybe they don't feel worthy, or they have an addiction, or, you know, whatever is going on. We're going to find out more information right now. All right. Okay. So how much a bird in the hand? What is that saying? A bird in the hand. I'm just getting that saying. I forget what it is. Okay. I see somebody like spreading their hands out like this, like they're opening up. I feel like they're thinking about opening up. Okay. Move this down a little bit. Get a little bit. Okay. Okay. So it's like this person is spying on you, and it's not like they've gone anywhere. And I feel like they feel you intuitively, and they know a beginning is coming. They may have been dealing with a karmic person, and if they are, then they are they're almost wanting to hide that it happened, like try to communicate with you, but kind of keep her or him in the background because it's not a gender thing. It's their feel. They want to they want to see if you're seeing somebody. They basically want to see if you're still even receptive. So it's like while they have somebody, potentially, then they're wanting to come through and just kind of be like, hey, are you still interested? Because I'm thinking of leaving this. And it's too bad they have to do that. It's too bad that they can't just love themselves enough to make the right decision for them and then, come after you. And whether or not you reject them or whatever, they're prepared to love themselves and to not be with someone for a while, I'm just saying. They miss you a lot. And they're trying to think about how they could, when and how to tell you just how much they feel and how much they stress over this. I feel like some anguish over it. I feel like you think I'm happy. I'm not happy. Like he feels really defensive. Like, you think I'm happy? I'm not happy. I'm not even like on a scale of 1 to 10, like a 2. I'm miserable without you. I'm miserable without you. I hate it and I can't stop thinking about you. What do you expect me to do? He just said, what do you expect me to do? I got myself stuck in a situation I'm not proud of. And now, I have chains that bind me. Chains that bind me. That's interesting. But he's really desperate to get some kind of a sweet message to you to let you know that you are not gone out of his mind. He really does want to let you know that he does see you the same way you see him, and he wants to be really grounded and mature when he does it. Like he wants to show up like all heart, and like he really wants to have something to offer. Like he really wants to present himself in such a way that you have confidence in him, that you find him to be a safe place for you to fall. He wants to be solid. He wants to be somebody you can rely on and you can call and text as often as you need for anything that you need. He wants to be honest with you. It feels like he wants to express his feelings for you because he's sick of bottling it up and pushing it down. And he's really tired of putting you up on some pedestal. He said, nobody needs to be up on a pedestal. Oh, for the first time, I just looked at this and I thought, well, she wants to send a message. So, but I think she just received the message. I think the bird just came and landed on her hand. So he wants to send her a message about going to the next level, maybe even getting married or, going and living in a castle. That might be for some of you. Maybe that's a dream some of you have, to go live in a castle. He wants to have you have some kind of a maiden. There's 2 women here. It's like it feels like he's kind of wanting to replicate a past life where you guys were a king and a queen and you had it all, right? Because he's in this King of Pentacles energy. You're over here like his match, paying attention to, you're out in wilderness, you're out in nature. Well, both of you are, but he has his throne out in nature. So, but you're out there in touch with nature and receiving his message. But it's at a castle. Look at, in both these pictures, there's somewhat of a castle or a structure in the background like that too. Yeah, see that? Telling you. And then there's a castle in the background right there. It's like he wants you to have a housekeeper, a maid, some other female there keeping you company when he's away, that's going to take care of you, that's going to look out for you, who's going to even be in support of you making your own decisions. I know this sounds so crazy, but a lot of this probably comes from a past life where he felt like you had everything that you needed from the, like, even emotional fulfillment from the person, a companion, like a female companion. Now this is going to be different depending on your gender. I know some of you are lesbians and whatnot, but I mean, so everybody's got to take this into, put it in context. But he basically wants to have you, he wants you to have a human companion that encourages you to be who you are and to make your own decisions. This is so crazy. And and he wants to just provide. He wants to just provide. And I don't feel it being any kind of a weird situation. Maybe if you have a best friend, let's use that as an example. You have a best friend, maybe he's thinking, I'm going to invite her to also be in the castle or something like that. Like, he wants to include anyone who emotionally supports you in being authentic and being who you are. I just got the word entourage. And I just saw the karmic that's involved being like, like having a total attitude about it, because maybe it's what she would have wanted him to do for her, and he wasn't about to give it to her. Maybe even everything that she was saying, I wish you would, I wish you would, I wish you would, I wish you would, is all the stuff that he's like, oh, I'm going to, oh, I'm going to, oh, I'm going to, just not with you. So now he knows, he's been taking that information and being like, I'm going to focus it on my true love, not something I'm wasting my time with right now. So he wants to get unstuck and make you some kind of an offer, and it's going to be out of integrity. And it could even have to do with the white hats, or something happening from the white hats, something happening with the truth coming out and integrity being revealed, and him feeling like a badass, and like the truth is out, now I can take action or something. But he really does feel like you're everything he's ever wanted. And if depending on his position and what he's doing right now, he may be even finding the strength to go against the CABAL and defend you. Or it could be what they've done, like fighting for you and like, okay, yeah, I just saw him. Interesting. I just saw him, like, Beauty and the Beast, when they're at there's gates. It's like he's like at the, didn't he go to what? I haven't seen that for so long, but it's like you're in the castle and he's at the gates saying, just come for us. Just come for us and see what happens. Like being really strong, not like with harsh words, with, like ready to fight with harsh words, and really, like give him a piece of his mind. So, I mean, I feel like so he's doing all this daydreaming while he's with this other person potentially. Whatever, even if he's not with somebody, it's like he's still doing this daydreaming, getting ready. So let's find out more that's going on here. Let's pull some ghost or cards. This is so interesting. Now, this is a collective energy. This is something that, they have to take. Say there's, however many of you there are that are in a situation where the person just isn't talking to you, and that's all you know. This is a compilation, with different winks from all over the place for many of you. And who are we? Spirit deciphers, what it's going to share. to encourage you guys in this situation. But if any of it resonates, meaning that you listen to it and you're just like, oh yeah, look at that. I just saw, I can feel you in the energetic realm. And I said that. I said, he can feel you like intuitively. Like he senses your moods, or he knows like what you're going through. And he says, I know this has to be hard for me not to be there. I feel terrible. So maybe, okay, so this again, it's like, well, I'm glad you have your best friend. I'm really glad you have your best friend. So I want to reward your best friend by bringing her to the castle if you want. If it's not a literal castle, it would be like, a man's home is his castle, right? So maybe it's his home. Maybe he's like, you can both come, or if you want, obviously, if you're comfortable with that, or, maybe we'll have a guest house for your best friend, or maybe get her, she can have her own home, but it's close by. Like I'm taking those who support and encourage you and that make you feel secure into consideration in my future plans. That's what it kind of feels like. This is so interesting. He's been afraid that you're seeing someone else. And it's really frustrating him. He's seeing all kinds of signs and synchronicities. And he's saying, I've had enough of this. I want you in my life now. Like we're both, if you're like, I don't want you seeing anybody else. And I don't want to be seeing the person that I'm with. So please just let me do this though on my own terms and trust me. I'm coming sooner than you may think. I just can't take this pain anymore. So, yeah, he's been held up in his self-imposed prison. I'm feeling like self-esteem, like low self-esteem, but he's doing his best. He really is doing his best, and will reach out as soon as he can. He hasn't seen how you guys can overcome your differences sometimes. So he's pushed you away, trying to control the situation. Trying to control the damage, like damage control, trying to keep you at a distance for damage control. But keeping you at a distance, it's like, which is better, to keep the damage here in a little containment, like contained over here, or like he can't, he's at a point where he just wants to be with you. He just wants to be with you. And you guys can both be in a container or something. But like as long as you're together, it's starting to be the what matters to him most. Is that you guys are together. Okay. This might be a long one, you guys. I'd like a good challenge, some mental stimulation, but something safe, of course. So it's like, he's finally up to the challenge. He's finally saying, you know what? I don't care. I don't care what bridge I have to go across and how wobbly it is, or what kind of people I have to fight to get to you. So I think I could really, these are my pet cards. I think I could really use some discipline and or training. I feel like I'd be more confident if I knew what you were wanting of me in various situations. I'd know better what to do. Well, that takes communication, my dear. They have to reach out. You make me smile inside. So it's like they're so funny because they hold themselves back like that, imagining the worst case scenarios. And well, I just wish I knew what you wanted. Well, open your mouth, ask her, I'd like you to understand me better. Please, could you please try to learn more about my body language, my breed, my gender, behaviors, past history, or whatever else you can? It's like he really does want you to know him intimately, like know his history, his life, the truth. If there's information about him that you've heard, it may not even be true. So he wants to, if he feels like all you've had is hearsay, or all you've had is like what his, family or friends have said or whatever, and he feels like that kind of messed you guys up or whatever, he wants to set the record straight. And he wants you to have the information straight from the horse's mouth. Okay. All right. So what does Spirit have to, I want some advice for you from Spirit. What is this person who's watching? What's the advice for the person who's watching in regards to this situation, please? Or what do they need to know? Wow. Stop talking about negative things in your life and start only talking about what you're grateful for. Take your complaints inside to hash out in the stillness of your heart. So I hope you guys are doing Byron Katie's self-inquiry work, or thank you, God, for my misery, or some other such shifting exercise so you guys, can be staying in a positive mindset about this. Love yourself, no matter what anyone else thinks. Your opinion is the only one that matters. Be true to you and be proud of yourself. Okay. Don't take this situation personally. This person is only projecting. Imagine them in the mirror saying it to themselves and you'll see. But this could also be just learning how to take personal responsibility and become more self-aware for yourself. It could be just like quit making it, just quit taking everything so personally and see how you're just like everyone else, and that what they're saying is about them, what you're saying is about you, like just really seeing things from the proper light and not on this journey. It's so easy to be like, how dare he, why did he choose her? Why won't he talk to me? And you'll like, call him names and whatever else. But it's like spirits asking you or encouraging you or requesting that you start doing some soul searching with it, go deeper with it than just what it seems like on the surface, Okay. So, wow. So it looks like a lot of you that don't know if your person is with someone or not, I think probably is. I think that's what the Spirit's saying, because that reading was supposed to be for those who are just in separation, not talking to your person. It's just sad that they feel like they have to be with somebody all the time. It's really sad, because if they could just be alone for a while and figure out how to figure out how to love themselves within that situation. But it's like, Lordy. Okay, so those of you who are in a situation where that they're with someone, that they're with someone, or even faking it, for those of you with celebrity counterparts, if they're looking like they're in a relationship but they're not, whatever the scenario is, you're who I'm looking at now. So that means that that there's a third party involved somewhere. There's somebody else intruding on your connection, let's just say. Okay, so let's look at that person, that group of collective. Okay. All right. Wow, he's really feeling the betrayal. Oh, he's really regretting it. He says, I'm pushing you into the arms of another lover. Like, I can't believe I did this to myself. I wouldn't blame you. I wouldn't blame you if you were to go to somebody else. I really massively screwed up, and I want to heal it. I want to make it right. Whatever I have to do, whatever tool I have to use, whether it's flowers or chocolates or showing up or whatever, this is the most incredible opportunity. You're the most mature person I've ever known. You're everything. And I have to talk to you. I have to talk to you, and we're going to be rejoicing and celebrating and so happy to admit our love to each other and work together to, and make a major decision. He's making a major decision to put in the effort to actually start sharing things with you and maybe form a commitment. So that's where he wants to get. He knows you're a gift from God and plans to talk to you, and is going to be like very giddy and excited when he gets to do that finally. So in his heart space, I want to start with his heart space, because he wants to fight any other guy. He wants to fight any other guy. He's like, put any other guy up against me, and they're not going to have half the love I have for you. Like you go ahead and try. You go ahead and try to date somebody else, and you'll see. It's like he's feeling like he wants to say some harsh words to anybody who tries to date you. He wants to make up for the regrets of the past by showing up really grounded and mature. So far, both categories of guys really want to show up like they never have. They don't want to play games with your heart anymore, because we got the King of Cups with the Three of Swords, like psychological games. He knows he broke your heart by being immature. Yeah, it's like he's embarrassed. He's embarrassed that he betrayed you, and he wants to apologize for that with the Ten of Swords and the Knight of Cups. He really, I just feel him so embarrassed. I can just feel him just like, I don't even want to, like, can we skip over me having to say all that? Because I just feel like such an idiot. Like, I really do. He lied, he lied. He acted like double life, all of that. Like, he's like, like, do I go this way or do I go that way? Do I go this way? Do I go, like, he feels like he's just like, why was I so confused? Why was I so confused? But they need to not give themselves a hard time, because there's a lot of energies out there of, trying to create mind control. Okay, mind control exists. And one of the ways, some of it subtle and some of it quite direct, but there's all kinds of things there's all kinds of energies trying to keep true love from coming together, because it's super powerful and super transformative for everyone on the planet. So, of course, he's been toyed with. They all have. All the divine masculines have been made to feel incredibly insecure, so that they will not express their feelings, they will not apologize, and they will not, be authentic and go forward and have hope of a healed life, So, but in the future, which could be tomorrow, could be real soon here, he's thinking to maybe surprise you. He was maybe strategizing about a surprise, but he wants to get in his power. And he was lying to try to control things, kind of like the last reading, lying to try to control things. So more kind of damage control, but now he's wanting to, like, collaborate with you and balance things out by just going, like, instead of going against himself, being all confused, he wants to say, what do you think we should do with this situation? What do you, I think this, what do you think? Like, let you weigh in on it. Like, he's really put himself in your shoes and feels like, if I were her, I'd be so mad, like, to just not have any weigh in and not even have any clue. And a lot of them are we have spying cards in both of these readings. They're totally spying on you. Some of them can listen in your phone. Some of them are watching through your cameras. Some of them are just asking your friends how you're doing. The spying has a huge array of different implications. So you don't know how they're doing it necessarily. They could just be watching your videos on YouTube, or they could be, on your Instagram, looking at your pictures all the time, trying to get a feel for your life. Whatever it is, they're always watching you. They're always watching you, trying to get to that point that they feel strong enough to really show up for you in a solid way, because they know that there's no way in hell, after everything you've been through, that you're gonna take anything less than that. You know what I mean? They know they'll be rejected flat out if they start being a player. You're pushing me away, trying to control this and us. Please give me space right now so I can make sure that my decisions are based on what I truly want at my core, and not because you're pressuring me. So I feel like they've had a lot of pressure from every side. They've had, like, their mom, their cousin, their brother, if they're celebrities, and their whole, public relations person, and all everybody being like, you got this to do, you got that to do, pulling them in many different directions. And a lot of them they've learned to be people pleasers. So it's like they don't want you to be another person who they have to people please. When it comes to you, it's like you are their ultimate truth. But they're also learning to have good boundaries with people. They're learning to have to be like, no, that's really not what I want. I appreciate the effort and I appreciate that that's what you want, but that's not what I want. And they're starting to like stand up for themselves for it more and feel more like a man. They may have harsh words sometimes and not quite know how to say stuff, but they are definitely like asserting themselves more powerfully now. I honestly think somebody's doing black magic on me or something. If you know how to fix that, could you please? I just feel blocked at every turn. That's aggravating. So we're going to do a blessing right now because I already mentioned that there are all these, dark energies that try to stop true love from coming together. And now he's saying it in the cards. So let's do this. And I also feel drawn to a Mary Magdalene card, but let's do a blessing first. All right. Mana taken sasela. Shishina puma na take. Sasan she ilake na puhotmaan. Jenje lake la taike. Hipepina ma anate. Hala san se shihila oke bumpan. Hala ana taike. Hala shishi na buma anke. Ha ha la sen se she in. All right. You're welcome. Whenever I feel you guys saying thank you, I say you will. The Matrix. Whoa, that's been a theme. The Matrix. I didn't even know there was a card called the Matrix. Okay. Is it under M or the? Okay. Okay. Miracles in the Matrix. Here we go. Trying to figure out why certain things happen is like attempting to piece together a 1,000-piece jigsaw puzzle while only having a few pieces of the puzzle in your possession. You cannot fully understand the present situation using the logic of your finite mind. Just know that a bigger picture exists, even though it's not possible for you to see it at this time. Trust, for all that is happening, is an act of love. Ultimately, you will discover the blessing. Have patience. You will look back on this period of your life and be thankful for all that is occurring right now. So he could very well be protecting you. I mean, he could be, he knows everything. He knows a lot more than you do, just like trusting God, right? Not saying that this person is God. I'm just saying, just like you need to trust God or the divine spirit, that the law of attraction is always working in the background and looking out for you and has your back and all that kind of stuff. It's like we're learning how to trust our gut with all of it. So learning to let go and go with the flow and just be like, hey, I know you got this. You got this. You got this. Let's not try to control anybody. This is the circumstances I'm in. I'm going to accept it and embrace it as best I can and make it the very best I possibly can. I'm in the middle of a legal matter that would be affected if I contact you. So I'll reach out when I can. So they could be taking care of some kind of a matter, or even like trying to make it right. And if they feel, if they're trying to make it right, and it's kind of like if they do have another person. So it's like trying to make it right involves like wrapping it up in such a way that you will be proud of them, that you will say, hey, well, you really handled that with integrity. Or, I'm so glad that you finally told her about me. I'm glad that you finally this or that, or whatever it is. He's trying to make it to where and feel like it's right. It was the right thing to do. And not out of guilt, not out of people pleasing responsibility kind of garbage, but more in a way that he just said clever. I'm trying to do it in a clever way that covers our butts, he just said. When it comes to special occasions, I'm like a deer in headlights. I'm afraid to get involved and do something that screws it up and go down that rabbit hole. So it's like, I feel like he is learning to like trust his intuition more. And if you just had something happen, some kind of a special occasion or a sad occasion, or, something that was kind of jarring, or, if you've been through a lot he froze. He froze because he knew that if he reached out, it wasn't, or if he does reach out right now, it's going to be worse than if he doesn't. So he's feeling like it's better that he does not reach out at this time, or didn't at that time. And still, I mean, looks back and regrets a lot of those decisions where he froze, because now that he's become like more fluid and feeling more confident in his ability to set boundaries and speak his truth and stuff, it's like he doesn't even want to dwell on the regret. He just wants to be like, you know what, I'm stronger now. I want to show up for you in those moments. I want to show up for you. Will you marry me? I'm serious. Wow. Wow. Yeah, he's also afraid you're seeing someone else. Why? Because he's projecting. Because he's seeing someone else. You know, I just told a friend, I said, if somebody's totally insisting that you're doing something that you're definitely not doing, they're the ones that are doing it. You know, if they're like, I know you're cheating on me. You have to be cheating on me. I know that you're seeing somebody, and you're like, dude, there's like nobody at all that I'm talking to, nobody that anything at all. Then you have to be like, wait a minute, cheater. You know, you start to see that those things more clearly, the more people that you date and the more pain you go through, right? So, all right, we're going to get on to the next. Advice from spirits, probably the same as the last time. Oh, you've got nothing to fear but those thoughts that you're entertaining. So get out of your head. Start using your mind to create what's possible instead of being afraid of what probably will never happen. Don't be afraid to rely on others to aid you at a time of need. Accept a gift or take a compliment. People feel good when they give. Let them do it. In doing so, you encourage all humanity to care. So when he comes forward, he's going to be wanting to make some things up to you. And he might give to you in a big way that like really kind of puts you on your heels a bit. So, but be open for all of it to happen, any of it. Be willing. Just know you'll be okay, and make sure that you'll be okay no matter what happens. If he never shows up, if he shows up right now with a bunch of flowers and all this incredible stuff, you know, just be prepared for all of it. Don't push it away. If he shows up and he's willing to talk to you about what's gone on, hear him out, but sit on your throne and just be like, I'm listening, but it better be good. You know, after everything, it better be good. And they know that's how they have to come to you now. If you had any idea how protected you are, you wouldn't spend another moment on worry. I love that one. That's one of my favorites. All right. So should we look at the pet cards? I guess so. Oh, I love the many ways you make me feel special. Thank you. Oh. So you do make him or her feel special. I'd like to spend some special one-on-one time with you, just the two of us. Can we make that happen? Yay. I'd like some more positive reinforcement about what you feel I'm doing right. So they need that encouragement too. Thanks for dealing with my bad behavior with such patience. I wish I knew better what I could do to make it better. I really want us to be happy. Oh, could you leave me entertained when you go away? So they're like bored without you. That's so cute. Oh gosh. All right. So let's look at you who are together. Let's look at those of you who are together. Let's see what's going on there. So either you just started dating, or you have a commitment, or you're married. It could be any of those. All right. But you guys are like talking and you have a relationship going. Oh, they're wanting to hold on to you, build a good solid foundation, but they want to keep the fire going. They want to do it in such a way that it keeps it keeps the interest there. It keeps the spark alive. It keeps the, like keeps you inspired. I feel like somebody, a masculine, whoever was the masculine in the relationship that was running away, I feel like he's actually wanting to be romantic. And I feel like he's wanting to come up with ideas on how do we keep things interesting? Like, how do I continuously make you feel engaged? Like he's totally looking for like, what's the best way to keep us engaged and keep us like, you may literally be engaged. But it's kind of like, how do I want to challenge her? I want to challenge myself. I want to like, how can I make this really fun and make it like an adventurous game? Or, yeah, he really wants to put the effort in. And he feels he's building a legacy with you. Like, oh, so sweet. Oh, so he's thinking of you right now. And maybe he feels that maybe you guys have had a lot of success doing that in a past life, and he's wanting to recreate that. And I get a yes. So he's gaining more clarity with you. Maybe you guys are communicating really well, or he wants to. He wants to get on the same page and start really keep building the rapport, trust, clarity. It's like what it feels like is that he's loving himself enough now, and he really wants to pour out that love to you from an overspilling cup of his own love for himself. And it feels like he's trying to overcome a lack mentality, trying to balance out. He's trying not to think pessimistically. He's trying to think optimistically for you guys. He's trying to set you guys up. I feel a lot of energy, like a lot of happy, optimistic energy. And he knows also that to build a long-lasting legacy, he has to show appreciation to you on a regular basis and make you feel good about yourself. And that's one of his focuses. When he's feeling optimistic, like the two of you together can kind of conquer the world. And he's feeling like he's so excited about this relationship, but he also has an element of trying to keep it kind of quiet or just between the two of you. So it's like he's busting at the seams, like wanting to tell the whole world, oh my gosh, this is my girl, this is my girl. But there's also an element of, I'm not going to do what I've done before with other people. I'm not going to go do this. I'm not going to go do that because that blew up my face before, or I feel like this could hurt us. And this is very sacred to me. This connection is very, very sacred to me. So I want to like stoke the fire, slowly build it. And once we know that we have that's my little anti-aging bed paddle thing that's beeping. I like to have it on as much as possible. I love it. It feels really great. Anyway, so he's really wanting to do this in a way that is really building a strong foundation for you guys to really like a soft place for you to fall no matter what. He's building a net to catch you guys if you should ever fall backwards and to have a misstep or whatever. Trying to create good communication, trying to create trust, rapport, being honest with you, always telling you the truth, no matter how ugly that might be. He's really wanting to heal things and be a happy family. He knows you guys will be very fulfilled together, and he's really excited. He might be wanting to have a baby. He might be wanting to build a family in the future. He's all about having. I feel him saying that I get to have it all. Awesome sex, awesome commitment, awesome overcoming of obstacles, awesome two minds coming together, creating whatever the hell we want to, and us feeling totally empowered. It's just, he feels like he's got everything in you and wants to really protect that and wants to, he's feeling very inspired. He's feeling creative. I feel like again, with this romantic energy, like him wanting, if he might be about to propose, actually, he might be wanting to propose, because it just, if he were, I mean, I don't know. It's like, what can I say? It's like let's just call it romance. Okay. I'm seeing like the kind of thing, like a little weekend getaway where you've got a trench coat on with lingerie underneath, and you would be the one surprising him in that instance. But like something like that, having something up his sleeve where he's gonna pop out however he does and surprise you. And he wants a reaction from you that's like shocked and like, you didn't think I was capable of that, did you? You didn't think I would do that, did you? Like I told you I'm a changed man, like he wants to show you, he or she wants to show you that they are showing up different. So it's almost as if you guys have had conversations and they told you, I don't like that I'm this and I'm scared of that and that, and I'm always worried about that kind of stuff. It's almost like that stuff that is going to be different. Like, now I don't care. Now I go ahead and call attention to myself. Now I go ahead and speak my truth. It's like that kind of thing at the end of a difficult period, because he's done being a kid and he's going to let his heart lead him now. And he wants to give back to you. He wants to put his attention on the right thing. So if he was with a karmic before, you guys, it's like he wants to give you what he gave her and so much more. Like he wants to make it up to you what he did with that person, like now my attention is completely and totally on you, and I'm completely dedicated and committed to you. I don't even look that direction. I don't follow her. I don't pay attention to what she's doing. Like there's zero attention now she's going to be choked out like you were, now she's going to get the hand. Now she's not even going to exist. She's not going to exist in our world, kind of thing. Oh, and I just looked down at yes. So he's going to be like fiercely loyal now to you. And he's going to make damn sure that that you are his number one priority. And even if he has a child, you're still his priority, because you guys are the foundation, and you guys being happy and you guys being on the same page and being undivided is what's going to make the child secure and happy and have everything that the child needs, or children, yeah, okay. You guys are the basis for the whole family. Apparently he's looking to make some kind of decision. Let's see what that decision is. You have an important decision to make at present, and the decision you make now will affect many around you for a long time to come. See, he could be thinking to propose if he hasn't yet. Be sure you know what you really want before you act. Take a few deep breaths. Take time out to clear your mind, and you will know. We are all part of one creation, energetically interconnected, and therefore what affects one also affects the whole. Everything you say and do, and everything you fail to say or do, has a flow-on effect. A positive effect can only be achieved by being true to yourself. The right decision is the one that sits comfortably inside your heart. Don't make your decision based on guilt or what you think you should do. Be true to you, for it is only by being true to yourself that you can be true to others. All right. And that's just by design. God wants us to do what inspires and excites us individually. And we are designed that if we do that, everything else will fall into place. So, yeah. So do we want to look at ghoster cards? Yes. Okay. I don't care what others think of us. We're perfect for each other, and that's all that matters. He's totally committed to you. He does not care anymore. If he cared before, he does not care anymore. Turns out you were right, and my ego's a bit bruised, but I ultimately want you in my life more than I need to be right. I just have to swallow my pride a minute, as I'm not used to this feeling. So he's learning how to be vulnerable and how to admit when he's wrong. That's huge. You are my angel, the guiding light in my ascension, the light at the end of this dark tunnel that I've been in. I'm a moth to your flame, and I plan to run to you as soon as I overcome this. I feel like this is actually, that was him in the past, and that you were the one that he ran to, that you were his light that guided him through that darkness. And now he's wanting to like reward you for that. He's wanting to give back to you. Oh, I know you think your body isn't perfect, but it's heaven to me. And I often think about and look forward to exploring it and how to pleasure you beyond what you've known. I want you so bad. That getaway weekend is going to be amazing. In some ways, he feels like you don't know him for who he is. Sometimes he's felt outright fake. So he really does want you to know him for who he truly is now, and to really open up and be vulnerable to you, and for you to know him better than anybody has ever known him ever. The real him. Okay, so let's look at some spirit cards. Your objective right now is to continue your healing work as everything else is being worked out behind the scenes. Just focus on you. You'll be supported no matter what decision you make. Just take one step at a time and know that you're being led. He's listening to his third eye. I just felt my third eye. Go with the new and divinely inspired rather than the comfortable and worn out. It's time to let go of the past. I think it's time to make that move. What are you waiting for? And just do it. All right, you guys. Let me just do a blessing for all of you, just in general, to help you have clarity, help you have good communication, helping you to forgive each other, to heal yourselves so that you both are receptive to having a good, heartfelt conversation, and to bring true love together. So hapama na tain sa se na halakiin hip maana ai hapom pabaha na shishi na tai ke ela on. I just saw Lake. Let me put out some winks, okay? Lake Tahoe, Cheetos, boom, 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 like a heart, boom, 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 boom. A dog with his tongue hanging out, an eagle soaring, like soar, yeah, an eagle soaring, a cheetah. Don't you wish it was you? My one and only might be a title to a song. Can you go any faster? Can you hurry this up? Can you go any faster? I'm too cool for school. Sunglasses, taking sunglasses and looking down at you, or like tipping them down to look at you. Somebody with like a leather jacket, like back in the day of like what was that show called? Good Fawns or whatever. Like, just or like in Grease, the guy with his leather coat acting all cool. So it could be Grease. It could actually be about that movie. And whale watching. I see. Well, maybe you guys had talked about maybe going whale watching sometime, or something having to do with whales. He wants the loneliness over. Serendipity, maybe the movie Serendipity, or maybe just he's like had a lot of, maybe you guys had a talk about serendipity and he's like, she's totally right, or whatever. Flowers, I just saw flowers. I was like, it looked like popcorn. It was like bloop, 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 and a whole big thing. wanting to give back flowers. A sun. I felt like the sun was like, like it just like popped out of nowhere. Anything else? I see a dog and a cat cuddling. I see Henry and Baloo, if you guys remember Henry and Baloo. A horse with a goat. Horse with a goat walking alongside of it. Somebody studying a book, trying to do some studying, and the other person's coming up and bugging them, and they're just like, leave me alone, I have to get this done, I got to get this done. But like he's like, when you're walking away or whatever, he's just like smiling ear to ear, like he wants to be bugged, but he does have to get stuff done. So anything else? Legal fantasies. I don't know if he's an attorney or a lawyer or something like that. Maybe you've been in his office and he's fantasized about you. Or I mean, who knows? I mean, you would know that what that means to you if that was something that resonated. Okay, anything else? A green dot, green dot, green dot, green dot, go. Okay, anything else? Is it popcorn? Popcorn. In particular, it could be white cheddar popcorn. Something having to do with like putting food on you or something, putting food on or around you, or like eating off of you. And then I see a scene with you guys kind of feeling a little frisky, I guess, and the kids are really enthralled in a movie, and the two of you are like fooling around under a blanket or something. So I don't know, that could be a memory. They could have been something that happened, or something that they think about that they'd love to have happen. Something like that. Okay, guys, that's enough. Have yourselves a wonderful month of May. It's going to be an incredibly powerful month. I'm hoping, and I've been feeling the end of April, hopefully is or was a real doozy. So I just saw May 11th, something significant is going to happen. So report back, please. Don't forget about me when you guys come together. And have yourselves a beautiful, beautiful day. Right. Bye.